information. And this is the basic login screen. It's a web URL, which we give you a user ID for and a password. And I've already logged into this. What I'd like to start here is let's just do a little bit of cost basis lookup. So I'm going to come down here to the cost basis tab, and we will check in. All right, so let's search the cost basis database. Someone gave me an example a few weeks ago that I'm going to use. So I'm going to search the cost basis database. My guess is the majority of the trust estate professionals are looking for more historic cost basis as opposed to intraday cost basis. Okay, so let's say I want to look up, how about Verizon? Let's get the terms. Verizon had a spin-off back in 2010 into Frontier, so let's look for Verizon. All right, so V-E-R-I-Z-O-N, and we're going to search. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so here we see Verizon did have a spinoff on 7/1/2010, Verizon Communications, and let's get the details of it, okay? And you'll see for each share of the original Verizon, you receive 0.24004 shares of the new issue. And I'll pull down so we can see a little better. Okay, so you received 0.24004 shares of Frontier Communications Corporation. It was a non-taxable event, and the cost basis adjustment was 0.062011. Okay, and you can see all that displayed on the screen here. You know, a lot of people, when they look for this information, they try to go to the company website and they track it down. We have here literally close to 100 years of cost basis information sorted by issuer, just right at your fingertips. I'm going to pause here for a couple seconds and check my chat box to see if anybody has any questions. If you have a question about this, please let me know. And then once we've established that, and this is the basic information, I'd like to share with you some of the other features of APPRAISE Plus, the cost basis calculator. Okay. I'll keep watching the box. There's nothing so far. So let me page up here. Okay. Oops. Well, here you can just see, here's a little more information about this. I didn't even see this. I came down further. Not only did it give us the terms of it with cost basis, where they receive the information from, the cost basis allocation. You can see Verizon Communications 0.973, Frontier Communications 0.062. You have the market values on the day of the spinoff, and you have the press release here. All built into this one record, which is pretty neat. Okay, and I'll keep paging down. And you have all the terms of the press release. Okay. Pretty extensive. The benefits, the details, the leadership, the timing, the conference call, forward-looking language. You can see this is a very comprehensive list of information at your fingertips. And then I'll make this large again, okay? Okay. Then let's go back to the main menu. So we search the cost basis database. We have here, I won't go into today, search dividends. One thing I also want to show you here is the cost basis calculator. This is a nice product. What the cost basis calculator allows us to do is to put in a starting position and then calculate what you would have now. So let's say the person is going to have, let's say they started with Medtronic. That's a famous one everybody's heard of, right? So let's do a CUSIP lookup for Medtronic. Okay. Let's go to M. And we'll pull down a little bit here. Oops, someone has a question for me. Hold on, please. Okay, good. Thank you for your comment. I have that. Okay, let's try this. What I'm going to do here is look for Medtronic. Hold on, please. Let's try that again. For some reason, I'm not sure why, it kind of got stuck there for a second. So we'll try this again. Medtronic. Look up. There we go. Medtronic. Okay, .com. So let's say one of your customers purchased Medtronic on, let's say, how about July 6, 1994? Just to pick a date. And let's say they have the price per share they paid. We could look it up. Let's say they have it. Let's say they paid, how about 81.4375. And let's say they purchased, how about 1,952 shares, and they sold the shares. They can't, let's not do it today. Let's do yesterday. And let's say they reinvested the dividends, just for the sake of it. Let's calculate. Calculating the cost basis with drips. Okay, this could take a little bit because there's a lot of information here. So we have here our CUSIP, our price paid per share, number of shares purchased, purchase date, sell date, and you can see the original purchase was right here, if you can see my cursor right there, and we invested all the dividends. Going forward, it's going to take a little bit. See all the dividends coming down. To a lot of years, there's a lot of data here. Okay. We have an income summary right here. Keep coming down. Okay, we have some stock splits here. See a stock split in 1994 over here. Okay. It was a 2-for-1 split. Another stock split here, 1995. Another stock split in 1997. Another stock split in 1999. This is on a split series there for a while. Okay, and we keep going down and reinvesting dividends. And we have all that information. And that is the cost basis calculator. And you ultimately end up with your resulting position. Okay, starting position, and then down here we'll give you the resulting position. 39,000 shares, $12.31 per share, cost of $482.73.58. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the cost basis calculator? You can opt to include the dividends or not include the dividends. Does anybody have any questions? Just going to check my chat box. Okay. It seems there are no questions at this point. So I'd like to show you one more product. Okay, let's bring this all the way up here. Okay, go back to the main menu. Actually, I want to do the cost basis calculator. But I also want to do search the family tree. This is, you can see how a security arrives at what it is. Let's do, for example, Bank of America, BAC. Sorry, BAC. Search family tree. And let me make this go large. Okay, and just for the sake of example, if you held Bank of America, we have information on this security going back to 1961, and you can see all the different banks. You may have heard of some of these. Boatman's, Bay State, keep coming down. How about Fleet Financial? Let's go to this. Continental Bank in Illinois, Bank Vermont. Bank of America is a great one to start studying. There's just so much in there. United Jersey Bank, Southwest Bank. Let's see what other ones we have as we go forward through this. SunWest Financial Services. You see it comes down and down and down. You start seeing names we recognize. Let's just come all the way down to the end a little bit. And you can see Merrill Lynch and Countrywide. Everybody remembers those, right? So you can go here and it has all this information about the Bank of America Corporation. And if I were to click on the QSIP, then it would set me up, if I wanted to do a cost basis calculator to determine my cost basis, showing for all of the activity that went underneath that transaction. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Any chattings? Okay. As I said, I don't want to run past 12 o'clock, so let me leave you with some parting thoughts. If you want to learn more about APPRAISE Plus for determining cost basis, I'm going to send you a chat. You want to reach out to this gentleman. His name is Don Bolt. He's who you're registered with. And you can call him at 201-784-8500, extension 104. Or, I sent as a chat, his email is accountinfo@appraisenj.net. And I'll send that out as a chat. So if you check in your chat box, if you didn't hear me and you got a chance to write it down, it's in your chat box. Okay, 201-784-8500, extension 104, or accountinfo@appraisenj.net. And our cost basis service is available as a subscription-based service, and you can have access to all this information. It has a annual maintenance fee and then a monthly pay for the data you hit fee, and Don can explain all those things to you. I'd like to thank you for joining us for our webcast this morning and wishing you a great day, okay? Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.